Bismillahi Rahman Rahim. The Lord is my light and my salvation. Whom shall I fear? Good morning and welcome to Johnnie's Bite. Apologies for the late start. Yesterday, I twisted my leg while we were in Geta. So, for those who were asking yesterday why Johnnie's Bite didn't happen, I was in excruciating pain. I couldn't stand. So, this morning, I'd have my leg in a bandage. But the job must go on. And the people must be informed. And the people must be empowered to hold those in leadership and those in authority and those who are serving us, whether they be civil servants or politicians, accountable and to ask the right questions. That is why I'm standing on my leg to come to you this morning. But this morning, my mind is unsettled as to whether the Roads and Highways Minister really knows what he's doing. My mind is unsettled because, you see, the man is 70, as I told you the last time. The man is 70 years old. He has seen life. He has lived life. He has experienced it. The man is a lawyer by training. The man is a cabinet minister. The man is also an MP, not a first-time MP. And when the finance minister read the budget on the 17th of November, the finance minister said that until the budget is approved, the free road toll thing should not be happening. Now the budget has been thrown out. Or there are divergent views. Tomorrow, it may be a totally different story. I will be in Parliament again, hopefully. Because on Friday, I was in Parliament right from 9:30 up until 11:30 p.m., almost 12 a.m. I was in Parliament. I saw it. Everything that happened. I saw at some point that Mr. Anodompre had come to call the roads minister out when Harun Idrisu, minority leader, started making his submission and was speaking about it. And he mentioned that what the roads minister was doing was an illegality. Today is the 30th of November, St. Andrew Day. And the road tolls are still not being collected. Now, what was the argument that was made? That, traffic situation is not the best. I challenged the roads minister this morning. Go to Kaswa. Go to Kaswa. We're not collecting road tolls. But go to Kaswa. The traffic is still there. Go to Kaswa. So that cock and bull story, that argument that was made, really is not the case. We must delve deeper and find the real issues. I said, go to Kaswa. Go to Kaswa if you say that collecting road tolls is the reason there's traffic there. Go to Kaswa, the road tolls are not being collected. But anybody who travels from Accra to Kaswa and back will tell you that traffic has not reduced at the Kaswa toll booth. So what's the argument? Between 17th November and now, how much money have we lost? Now who go pay? Because the roads minister knows. He's a lawyer. He's a cabinet member. He's a member of parliament, not a first timer. He knows. He has lived through this country. He knows. He is aware. He is very much aware. He knows. Now, Oliver, take me to the Tema motorway. The toll booth on the Tema motorway. The culture of maintenance. And I'm saying that the roads minister has very important things to be focusing on. Not to be giving tax exemptions. Because that's what he's giving to us, really. That's not his job. That's not his job. Show me the video. This is the Tema motorway, maintenance culture. Tema motorway, maintenance culture. This is what it looks like. Tema motorway, maintenance culture. This is it. We are not able to handle these things like the way we are supposed to handle them. We leave everything. This is it, Tema motorway, maintenance culture. People are going through freely. That's good for some people. But maintenance culture. Maintenance culture. This is it. Now the question is that the minister also said on that occasion that the persons with disability who man our toll booths will be reassigned. Did he not say that? He said that. Come back to studio. He said that they'll be reassigned. Today is the 30th of November. Where have they been reassigned? Come back to studio. 30th November, why have they been reassigned? In the interim, do we pay them their salaries for no work done? Something is wrong somewhere. Something is wrong somewhere. And you see, I was in Parliament on Friday. I saw whatever transpired in Parliament. I've seen very divergent people trying to put a twist on it. So let me tell you what happened in Parliament. I went to Parliament. Now, the meeting from the previous day had been adjourned to 10 a.m. in the forenoon. I left here before 10 and went to Parliament. I was in Parliament before 10 and I went up to the public gallery. At that time, the members of Parliament had not started sitting down. So I went through there's an eatery down there, the lobby. Hobnobbed with a few of them. Of course, they come here, so most of them are my friends. We hobnobbed with them for some time, and then we started having press conferences. First, the minority held a press conference and said that the majority are delaying, they are running away from their own budget. And then the majority comes to come and address a press conference. So Sam George addressed on behalf of the minority. And then Anodom Pre, who's the chief whip on the side of the majority, came to address and said that the NDC was playing propaganda with whatever is happening and that they had earlier had a conference with the speaker and they were now going to do their caucus meetings. And so the NDC is aware they're playing politics with it. Then the speaker comes into the chamber. Way after 10, almost 11 a.m. The speaker comes into the chamber. And then the speaker expresses shock that he is not aware of any caucus meeting being held by the majority. This is Speaker Bagbin. He said it. And that he will suspend sittings for 30 minutes to make room for the majority to be able to appear. He said that. The 30 minutes went almost 2 hours. We stayed for almost 2 hours, going up and down in between press conferences here and there, people making certain statements and all of that. Okay, so we waited. We were seated in the public gallery and the press gallery as well. Then the speaker comes, the minority comes in, the majority comes in. In fact, when the 30 minutes break was taken, the minority stayed in the chamber throughout. They didn't go anywhere. They were seated. Now, eventually, when the speaker returns, the speaker now has the majority and the minority in the house. But there was a problem. The majority did not have all their numbers. Fact, the majority side did not have all their numbers because on the front row, Adjo Asafo was not there. Yesterday, Honorable Gakpe was also saying that the Honorable Dakwa Numa was not there and a couple of others. Well, he had mentioned the road minister and I told him that I saw the roads minister there. So that cannot be factual. But obviously, their numbers were not up. Now, the speaker comes in and then the majority leader rises to his feet. Usually what would have happened on Friday is that because the debate had been had the whole time, the whole week, now the majority leader and the minority leader will make closing statements and then the question will be put as to whether to adopt and accept the budget or not. That was the deal on Friday. Now on this occasion, the majority leader, Sechimen Sabos, rises to his feet and says that the finance minister wanted injury time to convince the people to consult with them. And I was surprised on Friday when I saw the finance minister in Parliament because prior to appearing in the chamber, I had seen him exiting through the main door with about 3 or so people. I seen him exiting in his white dress towards the main door. So when the house was reconstituted, he came in and then I saw him seated by Osechi Mensaboso and then they made that appeal. Well, the speaker was magnanimous enough to accept it. So the speaker said, well, let the minority leader speak. Let the finance minister speak, even though ideally he's not supposed to have that audience. But because Parliament is a master of their own rules, they decided to allow him. And then the majority leader will speak. The majority leader said, no, I want the minority leader to speak. I will speak, and then the finance minister will cap it up. So it's like a principal debater, supporting debater, and then summarizer. That was what happened in Parliament. So minority leader speaks. Then he puts out the position of the minority regarding what they don't support. They don't support, for example, the e-levy. They don't support Ejapa, all of those things. He mentioned them. And then we switch onto the majority side where he came in doing some retrospection, saying that when you were there, what did you do? So minority leader said, Kroma Yeshi. And that was that littered his speech. And then at some point they even said, don't tax Momo, Baomia, don't tax Momo. They said that. Then the majority leader comes and he says that, and then Akrombeshi. So he kept referring the NDC back to things that had happened when they were in power. Then Kenneth Ofori-Atta comes to speak, and his prayer, as called it, his appeal, was that he wanted to engage the leadership of parliament. That's where the people got angry, perhaps, because they're supposed to have been engaged. And my information is that throughout the week when the debate was happening, the finance minister was not in parliament. Why? I don't know. But it was his budget that was being debated. So is it true that he was not there? And why was he not there? And why was he looking for injury time on Friday when all debates had ended? And even to the extent that he was looking forward to meeting just the leadership of the House. That's where the problem was. So there was rejection on that side. And then the voice vote was put. A question was put. The speaker took a voice vote, yeah, no, as to whether or not the finance minister should be allowed the extra time or injury time, as I like to call it, to be able to convince the people somehow, engage them. The voice vote was taken. The speaker decided that the noes had it. And then Honorable Alexander Afenyomaki, he will be here later. He is the deputy majority leader. He said he disagrees with the speaker's ruling that the noes had it. So he had called for something known as division. There's voice votes, there's head counts, secret ballots, and there's also division. Now, division says that you have to clear the lobby and the chamber of all persons who are not members of parliament so elected. Once you clear the lobby, then the votes will be taken again. So they will now have to come in. They will now have to come in through a certain open door. They will now have to come in to determine whether or not, they can reach an agreement. It was when this matter had been raised, the speaker read out the elaborate processes. And then the speaker said that includes having the finance minister with Dr. Charles Ebuwami, who are seated on the floor, exit the house because they are not members of parliament. And all of us indeed are not as well. We are visitors in parliament. I'm telling you what happened in parliament because I was there. I saw it. Then, because he was asked to go out, some members on the side of the majority started agitating. I'm told it's a first timer, a backbencher who was in a gray dress, another was in a violet dress. They were the ones who instigated and got the majority out of the house. A backbencher, a first timer. He put on the microphone. I'm sure the Hansard captured it. In the coming days, we'll be looking at the repercussions of that action. And the speaker has not given you the authority to speak. You put on the microphone and you speak. The Hansard possibly would have captured it. So what action will be taken? Now we were in parliament. So they walked out. You asked for a division and then you walk out of the house. Speaker takes a 5-minute break. It takes more than 40 minutes. Comes back and then puts the question as to whether the finance minister should be allowed. And then obviously it was just the minority who were there, seated calm while the majority walked out, as they said, on their own budget. And then they come back in, he resumes from the break, puts the question, that opportunity is gone. And then he again puts the question regarding whether or not to accept the budget. And of course, it was thrown out. So when you hear people making all manner of statements, in between all of this one, Mr. Johnson Asiedu Nketia, who's the NDC's General Secretary, was seated at the public gallery, just like where all of us were seated. And nobody in the public gallery was cleared out. So when the agitation started from a first-time MP, a backbencher, who said that if Asiedu Nketia stays in the house, I think MP for Empire, so that's the OPK, that's what they call him. He said that if Asiedu Nketia is not made to move out of the house, well, they will not agree, and they walked out. But we were all in the public gallery. I was there, Komla Kruchi was there, Parker was there, everybody was there. We were all seated in the public gallery. And I don't remember having covered parliament before. Now, when you are seated in the public gallery, you are asked to clear. So this is the position, what happened in parliament. Of course, there were press conferences that were held later on and all of that. But I just want to show you one more thing before we go, quickly. One more thing, something quite instrumental. Oliver, I sent you a screenshot on, what do you call it, e-levy, which has become a thorny issue because even the IEA is proposing that 1.75 is too much. The minority have served notice that they don't want it in there. They don't want it in there. But the finance minister didn't listen. The finance minister didn't listen. You remember when we were going for the Japa deal, they were told that don't go for it. Then we were told that, oh, we have an accumulated experience, 80 years experience. Alechon, where's the 80 years experience? What happened to the Japa deal? What happened to it? Now this is it. No, not this one. The Facebook post. There's a Facebook post. Quickly. And then in the next minute, we'll wrap up. I want to bring a certain perspective on quick loan and how having this e-levy thing would affect it. This is Arnold Parker. He says 4 years ago today, together with our partners MTN and Jumo, we launched what has arguably become Ghana's most utilized financial product, Quick Loan. In the 4 years that Quick Loan has been in existence, we have disbursed over 7 billion to well over 4.2 million people. Interesting that the Quick Loan anniversary comes at a time when heated discussions on the e-levy rages on. If I plug in the proposed e-levy rate into our financials, Quick Loan would cease to exist within a year. Yet, it is products like Quick Loan, which has been a lifesaver for millions in their times of need, that has the potential to transform this economy. Happy anniversary, Quick Loan. Hashtag, let's go improve more lives. This is the real comic Kenan economics that we're talking about. You have no idea the numbers of unemployed people who are hinging onto these things. But like as Kwame Jantua said, don't give the economy to that best to manage because they will not understand the pain of the downtrodden. They don't queue at the Kinky joint to buy. They don't queue at Davies or joints. They don't buy Wachi by the roadside. They don't buy Kofi Brookman. They don't buy Amada Nasha. They don't buy that. When they want it, they make a phone call, they order it, it comes to them. Sometimes it's cooked for them, it's served them. The Kinky is even sliced. So the local economy, when we are telling you the size of a ball of Kinky is shrinking, you have to listen to us. Because you showed us a ball of Kinky and made a case out of it, and we voted for you. So now if we are telling you that the ball is shrinking, you must recognize that the ball is shrinking. Good morning.